Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So this is the last experiment showing the cardiac muscle, some vagal stimulation, WCL stimulation and some variables we'll see. We have seen in last video the properties of cardiac muscle. We'll see now what if we stimulate vagus now or WCL. So what is that? Okay, and this experiment is really important in viva cautions in your practical exam, so you have to understand this point. So basically what happens, you have this experiment name is effect of vagus nerve stimulation and WCL stimulation on cardiogram. We have to see the effect on cardiogram. Okay, and what is WCL is white crescentic line. What is that? Okay, so to understand that, there are sympathetic and parasympathetic fibers which supply SA node. We know that the two SA node, both the fibers are supplied. Okay, so what is important in this is sympathetic fibers, you should know, is also supplying to ventricles, not parasympathetic one. Fine. And what is WCL? WCL is white crescentic line which is located at junction of sinus venosus and atria. Okay, this is a region where preganglionic fibers, all the preganglionic fibers of vagus, they synapse on postganglionic fibers. Okay, so this point should be clear to you. Fine. Now just to understand the concept, because this experiment is basically showing you that preganglionic fibers are there which are synapsing in a ganglia, and then postganglionic fibers are there. So you have to understand two concepts here. What if we stimulate vagus? What if we stimulate WCL? What is the difference? So from medulla, all the fibers are running, preganglionic fibers. Okay, and obviously here when we talk about when they leave the medulla, they leave the spinal cord, the preganglionic fibers of parasympathetic one are running, and we know that these fibers synapse near to the organ if we talk about parasympathetic. So parasympathetic fibers which are preganglionic are long and postganglionic are short, but in sympathetic one this is vice versa. Preganglionic fibers end up near the spinal cord when we talk about sympathetic fibers, and postganglionic fibers are running till the organ. Okay, we'll understand autonomic nervous system separate in separate video. Here we'll be talking about only just concept that these are both the fibers are running here, but here preganglionic fibers of parasympathetic are running only, right? And if you stimulate vagus, if you stimulate this trunk having both the fibers, normally sympathetic fibers don't dominate, parasympathetic always dominate when you stimulate both the fibers simultaneously. Okay, so the effect we get is parasympathetic effect mostly. So vagal stimulation, if you stimulate vagus, so you are stimulating through this track, preganglionic fibers you are stimulating, first thing. Okay, what is WCL? WCL is the white crescentic line where sinus venosus and atria are meeting, and this line exists where the preganglionic fibers are synapsing on postganglionic fibers. So ultimately if you stimulate this point, then you are stimulating the postganglionic fibers. Okay, so I think the point is clear to you. Now why we are reading these 2 points? So there is a concept, what if I block this? Does vagal and WCL stimulation lead to same thing? What if I block this? Does the vagal and WCL stimulation leads to same thing? So this concept you have to understand here. Okay, so first of all, about normal cardiogram, if we stimulate vagus, then there is the heart beating stops. This is vagal inhibition. Okay, and if we stimulate WCL, again if we stimulate vagus, this is going to again inhibit the stimulate the parasympathetic one, and we know parasympathetic stimulation lead to decrease in heart rate. Okay, and same happens if you stimulate the postganglionic fibers, so the response will be same, right? So this is normal cardiogram. If you stimulate vagus, heart beating stops or decrease in heart rate as depending on stimulus strength, right? And WCL stimulation, this the response is same. So the effect is same with both when we talk about on normal cardiogram. First thing. Second thing is on sustained stimulus. What if you don't leave that stimulation, you continuously stimulate the vagus throughout? Okay, what happens then? After normal cardiogram, when you started stimulating vagus now, that the arrest part, the ventricle stops beating. Okay, that arrest part is called vagal inhibition. The heart stops in diastole. This is diastole, right? So this heart stops in diastole. Then there is a rhythm started after some time. Even you are stimulating the tissue, in spite of that stimulation, the heart is able to beat now. Okay, so that is your vagal escape. This is really important part. You will be asked in your viva, what is vagal escape? That the ventricles, they escape from the vagal continuous stimulation. Why? There are two reasons for that. One is neurotransmitter depletion occur because of continuous stimulation. The neurotransmitters are not sufficient, first thing. Second thing is, we know that ventricles are having sympathetic stimulation as well. So that because of sympathetic stimulation of ventricles, the heart starts beating again. So this is the idioventrical rhythm which is showing here. So now the concept is clear to you that what is vagal inhibition and what is vagal escape. But this is general concept. Now let us see the effect of variables. So if we block the muscle receptors, so ultimately whatever preganglionic fibers are synapsing on postganglionic synapsing on muscle, ultimately the muscle is responding, right? It can be SN node, right? Okay, so if we block this receptor, what happens? This is a muscarinic receptor and the atropine is anticholinergic stimulant, right? So if we give atropine, that can block this muscarinic receptor. Okay, so if the receptor is blocked, if you stimulate preganglionic, what is the response? Means vagal stimulation. If you stimulate postganglionic, what is the response? Means WCL stimulation. So let us see. I hope the point is clear to you and you can comment me what is the response going to happen, right? So if this is normal cardiogram, you give atropine, you block this receptor and now you give the vagal stimulation. What is going to happen? Obviously nothing, right? Because the response part is blocked. And same, if you give atropine and after that you give the WCL stimulation, you are stimulating here now. So ultimately there will be no response. Are you clear now? So there will be no response if vagus or WCL stimulation is done after atropine injection. But what if I block this ganglion? Not this. This is working. Okay. If the ganglion is blocked, so preganglionic fiber whenever stimulated, they are not able to transmit the information to postganglionic. So what should happen? Give me response in comment box. What should happen now? Whether vagus stimulation should be responsive or WCL should be responsive. Just think about it, pause the video and tell me the response. Okay, so this is normal cardiogram and so this thing can be done by giving nicotine. So nicotine can block the ganglion. So if nicotine is given, that means the ganglia is blocked here. Now if you give vagus stimulation, you are stimulating here but this is blocked. Is there any response going to happen in muscle? Obviously not. Okay, if you give nicotine again and then you will stimulate the WCL, so this is blocked, not further pathway, right? But if you stimulate this, that is your WCL stimulation, this is going to obviously show the response. And what is the response? That is decrease in heart rate or cardiac arrest. Fine. So after nicotine, if we stimulate the WCL, there will be response. That is your bradycardia. Depending on stimulus strength, that will be your bradycardia or cardiac arrest. Okay, so that's all about this WCL stimulation and vagal stimulation. Just summarizing it, vagal stimulation leads to decrease in heart rate or heart stops beating. If you give atropine, that is you block the muscarinic receptor at muscle level, then stimulate vagus, no response. If after atropine you give WCL stimulation, no response. If after nicotine, that gives you the ganglion blocker, okay, and then vagus stimulation done, no response. And nicotine, if after nicotine WCL stimulation is done, that is your postganglionic fiber, obviously there will be response, that is your bradycardia or vagal inhibition. Okay, just to finish all the amphibian experiments, the last thing left is, we have seen that parasympathetic fibers, whenever stimulated, they what they did is decrease in heart rate or cardiac arrest, vagal inhibition, right? So we know now that whenever parasympathetic system decreases the heart rate and sympathetic system increases the heart rate. The same we are going to study here, that if normal cardiogram you give adrenaline, okay, what is the response? So sympathomimetic this is, so there will be increase in force of contraction and the number of peaks will be increased. So increase rate of contraction, increase force of contraction, you have to comment this thing only. So graph will be like this, you can see that ADR will be written and normal cardiogram will be shown, and then the change will be there. So you have to just comment on the change, that's it. And same, if normal cardiogram acetylcholine is written, that means you have given the application of parasympathomimetic drug. So parasympathomimetic drugs means parasympathetic stimulation lead to, we have seen all these things, that the bradycardia, the rate decreases. Okay, so on adrenaline application there is a response of sympathetic system, increase in rate and force. On acetylcholine application there is decrease in rate and force of contraction. I hope the point is clear to you. So this finishes the amphibian physiology. If you have any query, you can comment below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy learning, guys. Bye bye.